Hello, church. This is Kevin at the Portland Public Library. Today is the 31st of um, December 2024. So, in a few hours, probably in less than 12 hours, we turn to 2025. I'm not exactly sure what happened on the bus on my way here. I got pissed off at some women, and my response to them, they were cutting me down. I'm not sure why they were cutting me down. Two Asian women and a white woman. um, I kind of got ticked off at what they were saying. They were just. So anyway, I turned. I didn't know what to do, so I turned to the scriptures. I read Philemon. The whole letter to um, Paul's letter to Philemon on behalf of Onesimus, and telling Philemon to receive him as a brother, as a Christian, because he basically served Paul while he was in his imprisonment, and now to receive him that way. So I used it and shared the gospel with the bus. Um, I shared with them how the letter was written by Paul to Philemon. He gave the letter to Onesimus to give to Philemon so that he could be restored, not as a slave but as a brother, right? And he says, remember that when you and I were together, basically, give him the same respect, right? And I took it back to Uriah, whom David had given a letter to, and Uriah was to give the letter to the general of David's army because David had fallen for his wife Bathsheba, and the end result was that David committed adultery, and in so doing, he wrote a letter, and the letter was given to um, Uriah, and Uriah had to give it to the general, and the general put him in the front line of the army, and he got killed. And David had a child with Bathsheba. The child died, and then had another child, which is Solomon, who became the third king of Israel. And I basically compared the letter that Onesimus had been given to the letter that Uriah was given, and then I took it back to the New Testament and said to them that it's the same way that the Lord was sent with a message, and that message ought to be received not the way David had intended to kill Uriah, but to restore Onesimus as a brother. Christ should have been received that way as a brother, but we know what happened in history, right? The same way David had written that letter, and the letter was not helpful to Christ nor to the Father. But today in the 21st century, let that be their New Year's resolution, to receive him as Onesimus was to be received by Philemon as a fellow brother. And of course, you go to the New Testament, and it says not just as a fellow brother, but as the only name under heaven by which men are to be saved. So I spoke to them on the bus a little bit, and I also spoke to them outside, but in passing, and then come back in here, only to my disappointment to find out that the library closes at 6 instead of 8. I woke up late this afternoon. I was up all night last night doing some work, and of course, the devil comes out on me this morning at about 5 in the morning, and um, he has the tendency now to just get in my face with his serpents. They're in the apartment, and I'm not exactly sure. And I had filed a police report yesterday at the desk that they need to come and get the snakes out. I'm at the library right now. You see these bookshelves right there, okay, against the wall. Um, there is one that is in a bag. I'm not sure how big the bag is, but it's a bag, and it probably has a Ziploc on it. And inside of the bag is a snake. I'm not sure how big it is, but the animal keeps projecting. But there's also one that's in the wall, which is where the office is next door. And there's one even bigger in there. So there's several of them, and they project. And I get ticked off at the fact that this is what's where I'm sitting at in the office area of the unit. It's really small. It's not even that big, but still dealing with the devil. and still dealing with Gabriel. I'm still being hit with that. Still dealing with Blantis, and so I told them to let your New Year's resolution be to receive the Lord as you would, as Onesimus was to be received by Philemon. Anyway, should I share with you where things are at on the last day of the year in case something happens? It is 4:05 p.m. 12/31/24. Right there. And I am on computer number 315. Okay, well, Kevin is checking out. Talk to you later.